Good morning. I move a little equipment around, and for some reason I'm blurry. So let me see if I can fix that. Hmm. Well, one moment, beloveds. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is July 8th. And this morning I'm reading from The Voice of Knowledge with Janet Mills. It's a Toltec wisdom book by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I'm reading from page 144, and it finishes at the top of 145. To change the story of your life is what the Toltec call the mastery of transformation. It's about transforming you, the storyteller, the dreamer. Life is changing so fast, you can see that you are always transforming, but you master transformation when you no longer resist change. Instead, we take advantage of change and you enjoy change. To master transformation is to live in the present moment all the time. Life is an eternal now because the force of life is creating everything right now and it is transforming everything right now. That's a lot. Um, and while I don't recall exactly the year this book was written, it wasn't written today, but that certainly applies today. The world is changing so fast, you can see that you're always transforming, but you master transformation when you no longer resist change. I'm not there yet. How about you? Um, I am better at recognizing when I resist change. I'm better at stopping the resistance once I realize I'm in it. But I certainly do not stay in the flow of being present with the moment every single moment. I would love to tell you I do. But I have this thing called integrity that I live by. So I can't tell you that. Uh, what I can tell you, though, is when I am in the moment, when I remind myself that the resistance is what's causing my pain, the projection of a disaster that hasn't happened yet causes my pain. Separating myself from this flow of life causes my pain. Are there things that happen in this physical realm that I dislike? Absolutely. Are there things that are happening right now that I dislike? I'm sure there are. And I'm sure I'm unaware of most of them. And when I remember that things are just changing, whether I'm aware of it or not, somehow that, in an odd way, frees me. It doesn't invite me to go through life unaware. So that's not what I'm saying. Let me be really clear. But what it points out to me is that all of my worry, all of my frustration, all of my disaster projections change nothing except me. And they make me unhappy. They make me depressed. They make me irritable. They make me hard to live with. They make me um, do all kinds of behaviors that I wouldn't ordinarily do. And so, why would I want to continue that? And so, this reminds me, when I stay in the moment, when I remember that I am one with life and life is always changing, that's the normal thing for life to do, then it has to be the normal thing for me to do as well. And what if I actually participated from a place of awareness, from a place of intention, to find the gift, excuse me, to find the gift in every change? Um, I will wrap up with this and then we'll go into our meditation. I've told this story before, but it reminds me of, what am I focused on? Okay. There's a psychologist studying two children, and the psychologist is studying the impact of deprivation and overstimulation. And so one kid is in a room full of every toy that the psychologist could imagine to simulate that experience of overstimulation. The other kid is in a room full of horse manure. And so he's watching these two children on remote cameras. And he's watching the kid with all the toys, and he's starting to play with the toys. And he pans over to the kid in the room full of horse manure, and he's just sitting there contemplating, thinking. So he pans back to the kid with all the toys, and now he's throwing temper tantrums because they're not working right or something. And so he pans back over to the kid in the manure, and he's got a shovel, and he's whistling and singing and having a blast shoveling horse manure. Well, this confounds the psychologist, so he just abandons the whole camera and he goes down and he talks to checks in with the kid with all the toys, but what he really wanted was to talk with the kid in the manure. And so he talks to the kid with all of the toys, and he gets this, exactly what he expected. All of these toys, and this one doesn't work, and I thought this would do that, and temper tantrum continued. So he went over to the kid in the room full of manure, and he said, "Help me understand what's going on here, kid, because I put you in a room full of horse manure, expecting that you would be miserable. And what I'm witnessing is that here you are, somehow you found a shovel, and you're just shoveling manure, having a blast. Help me understand what's going on." And the kid looked at him and he said, "Mister, the way I figure it, with all this shit, there has got to be a pony in here somewhere." And that story reminds me, no matter what is happening on planet Earth, no matter what is happening in my individualized experience of it or yours, to look for the pony, to find the pony, because it's got to be in here somewhere. Got to be here somewhere. And so let's take this into our meditation, that we get to participate minute by minute in the transformation of life and our role in it. Here we go. So with this breath, I recognize that there is one infinite, ever-present allness. Life itself, by whatever name we call it, consciousness, truth, grace, God, Buddha, Allah, the quantum field, reality. It is nameless, because to name a thing is to limit it, and this is unlimitable. It is that self-existent substance, the source of all life, expressing itself, individualized in multiplicity, yet never separate from itself. It is the diversity of creation. It is the omnipotence of life. It is the omnipresence of life. It is the omniscience of life. And so it must be my life. It must be the life of every expression. What is true of one must be true of all. Each an individualized expression of the same substance. So each fully infused with the substance itself, fully empowered to create, to use creation, to use infinite possibility, to move infinite possibility into experience. Always evolving, always forward. I step into the stream of change willingly, excited to experience the evolution of life as me, as each expression of life. I open my mind and my heart to see what is present in the moment. I release the human tendency to catastrophize, to play out a narrative that I have no desire to experience. And in its place, I claim and affirm the truth of being, the truth of all being. The spiritual equity of life. I consciously, intentionally choose to see beyond the limitation of human condition to what is possible in the spiritual realm, and hold that as the vision of a world that works for all, where every breath is celebrated, where every individualized expression of creation is celebrated, where there is no longer a desire for sameness, because there is an understanding and an embodiment of the harmonious operation of one expressing in multiplicity. And I am grateful. I'm grateful to experience that internal shift as law responds immediately to the word spoken, to the desire expressed. And so I know that beyond this limitation of human time and space, that it's already done. And so I can let go of needing to see it in a human time frame, and in its place choose to see it done. choose to be it done. So I let go and step into the experience of this day, each moment, fully present in the transformation of life. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.